Awesome. So, hey everybody, welcome to Coffee with Tim. It's Tuesday. I cannot believe it's already May, May the 3rd. This is crazy. This year is flying by way too fast, and I just can't stop it. So, anyway, today we're going to be talking about workflow. I updated the workflow visualizer 2 weeks ago, I think now. And a lot of people had questions about workflow. A lot of people were like, yay, it looks so pretty. How the heck do I use it? So today I hope to, what's the word, demystify, kind of, show the end result and then break it down from there. And hopefully all of you who are watching this will feel more confident and, start experimenting and try it out and see if it helps you get organized. I'm also going to be showing some new features I added to proposals. And then I'll just answer a whole bunch of random questions that you might have. So let's get started. So you'll see on my dashboard, you can edit your dashboard at any time. I think I show this in every video, but it's a lot of people just don't know that. You can go to hover over the dashboard and click on Edit Dashboard. And when you do that, you'll be able to see a whole bunch of widgets. I happened to drag the workflow visualizer widget right here, so it's the third one down. And in that widget, I can choose which of my workflow templates I want to visualize. So any, some of these are event type workflows. So it will show me any events that I've added that workflow to. So here I have my wedding workflow 2015. That's last year's, and these are all the events. I think all of them are test events that I've added it to, and I'm going to hit this little full screen icon here on the widget just so I can get an even bigger view. And you'll see each of these gray areas are my phases, and within each phase I have these different tasks: edit session. This is an engagement session. There's like all these different tasks that I need to complete. Charge the batteries, dump the cards, clean the equipment, yada yada, check in with the second shooter, all that kind of stuff. This is post-event follow-up stuff. So we've got 6 months after the event follow-up, send out special coupon, all that kind of stuff. And so each of these, now I can see each of these workflows for all of my events. So I can see in this event, where am I in this process? Oh, well, for some reason I didn't actually complete any of these tasks. But these I did, and it just gives you a really good high-level view of what you're working on, what you've got going on. Like those big whiteboards that a lot of people have, big marker boards. So let's see, like in a phase, you have this little blue guy that pops down just to let you know when it's due for that specific event or lead or whatever you've applied it to. So this one's due later. You can click this little gear icon, and you'll get some settings for this specific phase and for this specific, in my case, event. So these settings will only be applied to that phase. But what I can do is I can either change the due dates of these 3 tasks that are due on 11/25. And the cool thing here is if I want to, shift it 2 weeks, I can. And then if I click on this guy, it will cascade update the rest of these phase tasks. So instead of these being due on the 24th, when I hit save, now they're due on 2 weeks later. So there's the December 8th and December 12th. Oh gosh, there you go. So you can also view multiple pages in case you have just tons and tons of events that you have to visualize. You can see some older ones in here. That's why they don't even have any tasks. I was messing with them. You can also choose to see how many events you want per page. So the default is 5. In fact, I might even change that just because of the way the visualizer used to look, where it just took up a lot of space. Now 5 is kind of small, but you can change that at any time and just see more at a glance. Okay, so we've got um, when you see a task that's completed, you can just kind of see what date it was completed by hovering over it with that little tooltip guy. When you see this little blue arrow or a little plus, a little arrow with a plus, that will show you all the tasks. And what that means is um, by default, there's 5 tasks shown in a phase. But if there's any more, like in this case, there's actually 6, it will show that little blue guy just to let you know, hey, by the way, there's more than 5 tasks in there. So you might want to check it out. And it's good because you can see in this case, I have all 5 tasks checked off, but it's not green. So when I click here, oh, look, I forgot to check off details. And so once you check that off, then it'll all turn green and you'll be good to go. Also, when you see tasks that are red, you can hover over it and see, okay, this is what it is, and this is when it's due and who it's assigned to, whether it's overdue or not. But you can just hover over an uncompleted task, and it'll show you all the details. So this is the visualizer, and now we're going to kind of go back down and dig into an actual workflow template. So you go over here to templates. Here, I'll just expand this just so you can actually read it. There you go. Go over to templates, and then workflow templates. So we'll go here. And for some of you, you won't even have any in here. I've got a lot of them, but I'm going to create a brand new one just so that we can, that way we can start fresh. Julie has a question real quick. Can we share other members' workflows? Absolutely. So what you'll want to do is go to settings and then sharing. And because this is my demo account, I share with a lot of people. So you'll see a lot of people's studios in here. You just want to share this Pixifi ID in like the Facebook support group. And anyone who pastes in your ID will be able to share all kinds of stuff with you. And so like this wedding workflow that I was just working in, if I click this little share button, it'll say, all right, well, now who do you want to share it with? And it'll just send you a copy. So you'll have that in your account. So I guess instead of going into a brand new one, let's go into an existing one first, just so you can see what one looks like, what a workflow template looks like all filled out. So here we are in a workflow template, and you can see I've got a name and a type, and the type is very important because that is where the workflow will show up. So if you have a lead workflow template, it'll only show up when you are trying to apply it to a lead. If you go to an event and you're like, where's my lead workflow? I don't see it anywhere. It's because of the type. So make sure that you set the type to where you want it to show up. This one just happens to be an event workflow. So just like you saw in the visualizer, all the different phases and tasks up here, this is what it looks like in the actual template. So here's my engagement session phase, and all I have to do is hit add phase. I can create another one. And then within that phase, I can add tasks. So just click add and add some tasks. And you can choose, if you have multiple staff members for your account, you can choose who you want it to be assigned to once, like who you want the task to be assigned to once it's applied to like the event or the lead. You can also color coordinate them like I do, or not. And then down here, this little actions section, this is really important. Some people use it and some people don't. It all depends on your preference. But if you click on add email or questionnaire, it'll add it to this action section. And these emails and questionnaires won't get sent until all of the tasks within this phase get completed. So if you want emails to be sent out automatically, I would suggest using this automatic items section. But if you want to be able to check off tasks, and as soon as you check off that last one, then it sends emails and questionnaires and stuff like that, then this whole action section is perfect for you because it won't send without you doing something first. So back to this automatic items section. Here, what you can do is add emails or questionnaires, and you choose the email templates you want to send, when to send it, and it's all relative to like the event date or the booking date. Since this one is an event workflow, you can even choose what time of day to send it, and then who you want the email to notify, whether it's the client of the event, whether it's the staff member of the event, or the vendors. Unfortunately, Google Hangouts doesn't detect or doesn't show the little pop-out, so you can't really see it here, but same with this one where it's before event date, after event date, or booking date, but you'll be able to see it once you go in there. And so then when this workflow is applied, then it will schedule all of these. So it won't send them right away. It'll send them on the dates that they are scheduled to go out. Okay, so it looks like there's a whole bunch of questions in the Q&A tab, and I always forget about the Q&A tab, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so the first question is, would it be possible to work on a workflow other than a wedding? Not all of us shoot weddings at the time. Yeah, James, absolutely. That's the beauty of this. I'm calling this a wedding workflow, but you can create workflows for any type of event that you have. So it doesn't matter, what yours is. You just create a custom workflow for that. I just happen to be using a wedding workflow as an example. There's no limit. When you create a workflow template, there's no phases or tasks. You just create all that. So yeah. So workflows are super generic. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a wedding. What happens when you update a workflow? So here's what you'll need to do. When you, like, say I go to an event and I apply, well, actually, I'm just going to go to one of the events I've already applied it to, this test event real quick. So here's my event, and I can see where I am in the process, and here's the workflow tab, so I can then see, okay, here's where I am with everything. I forgot to complete these tasks, so I'm going to go and complete them now. So what happens if I go here to this workflow template and I add something in here, or change something, or delete an entire phase? What do I do? Well, it's a little tricky, and what you'll want to do is, before you start applying your workflow templates, I would say try to get your workflow as close to as perfect as possible. Try to break up everything that you do with just about every event into your workflow so that you don't have to change it. But if you do, you'll have to go to each event. Like here in my visualizer, if I go and change this template, all of these events right here have a static copy of what was originally in this workflow template when I applied it. And so if I start changing stuff, it's not going to go and change any of these events that I applied it to. What you'll want to do is go to that event, hit change workflow, and says, are you sure? And then you'll want to reapply it. And in this one, I want to start at 6 months after, since I've already completed every other task. So here's where I'm going to start it. I also want to prevent all of those auto items, which are all of these reminders and questionnaires that I've already scheduled when I first applied it. I don't want to reschedule those again because my clients are going to get double. So I'm just going to hit this little prevent auto items from being scheduled and hit save. And so now it's recompleted everything for me and started me back where I was again. But now it would have all of those new changes that I just made in the workflow template. I know that's not really ideal of a scenario where you'd have to go and reapply it to the event, but it's just the way that it was architected so that it creates a copy from this template. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. We have another question, Tim. Are there or will there ever be any if-then type of workflows? If I complete a certain task, it will automatically add another set of tasks or phase. I've thought about it. It is super complicated, and it wouldn't even look correct in the visualizer, because now some workflows would have one column of phases and tasks while another one doesn't, and so they would look really, really weird. I've thought of it. It just, I don't know. I don't know if it really makes sense. I don't know. We'll have to. You'd have to really sell me on why why you would definitely need it. But when I duplicate a workflow, it does not add all of the items I have put in my automatic items list. Is it supposed to? Yes, it is. So that just sounds like a bug. I'll take a look at that today, because it should copy over. Basically, it should make a direct copy of everything that you have in that workflow template. So yeah, I'll take a look at that for you. Let me just write that down real quick. Okay, so we've talked about workflow templates and how they're phase and task based. And then I've showed you in an event, you just go to the workflow tab, and you can, if there isn't one here, I'm just going to delete this one real quick. It'll just say, there's no workflow. So you can just click on associate and find that workflow template, and then choose, the starting phase. So now you know how to apply a workflow. What if you are, you've done a whole bunch of events, or scheduled a whole bunch of events, but you haven't applied, you're just now creating a workflow template. What you can do is select the events in your event listing tab and click on batch update, and then you can batch apply that workflow template. Just choose which one you want to apply, and it will batch apply it to your events. So that way, you don't have to go to each event and add the workflow manually to each one. So that'll definitely save you some time once you've created your workflow templates. You'll be like, oh, okay, this is, now let me just real quick apply it to all of them. So, oh, there's another question that I didn't see. How do you manage wedding clients with one or more extra sessions? Some clients have bridals and engagements, and some don't. So in that workflow template, I don't actually use this one. This is just like a demo one. Like you saw in this one, there's like this engagement session phase, and a before contract signing phase, and another contract signing phase. I would never actually use those in my template for weddings, and the reason why is for my clients, I would go, here, let me just go to a client real quick. I'll just show you real quick. I do the engagement session, the wedding, any bridals, like all of that. I'm just going to go to a test one. I do as separate events. And so, like for this test client, I have a whole bunch of different events. So I would go and I would create their engagement session as a completely separate event, since it has a different date than when they're getting married. And what you can do is, say you have a really long workflow template now, because it involves the engagement session and a bridal session and the wedding and all that stuff in one giant workflow. What you can do is, or what I would suggest is separating that up, create each of those different sessions as an event, and create it as 3 different separate workflow templates. So one would be for bridals, one would be for engagements, one would be for weddings. And the cool thing here on the dashboard is in this visualizer, you can visualize multiple workflow templates at a time. So here you could see, okay, here's all the wedding ones, and okay, here's the bridal one, and even if they're for the same client, it doesn't matter because they're they're different events, and here's my engagement one. So you'll be able to see exactly where you are with all the different workflows that you're using. So at least that's what I would do. Yeah, I mean that's fine. I see your question. You do separate events, but what about the initial wedding workflow on scheduling and booking those sessions? Um, I mean, you could put that in as far as like in one of your phases, you could have, um, talk to the client about scheduling those and stuff like that, and then once you do schedule those events, then have a whole separate workflow just for that event type. So, um, because there's all different kinds of things that you would do with the different types of events. So, yeah, I don't see any problem with putting some of that like pre-scheduling into the initial larger workflow, but it would definitely help to separate out some of that stuff. And looks like I'm missing some stuff over here. Oh, okay, Ryan, you already answered her question, so that's great. But her question was, just so other people see, how do I get to the events listing? You just go to things to do and events. I'm going to open this in a new tab real quick. And by default, you'll see a calendar. And then over here, you'll see this little events listing tab. Just click on that, and then you can change the filter options. So right now, I'm defaulting to all events for this year, but you can see, what's going on for just this week, what's going on in the next 10 days, what's going on for this current month. You can totally filter to see what you want. Only show me stuff that's assigned to me. Only, show me events that are booked between these different dates. There's all different kinds of stuff that you can filter on. So, yeah, that's how you get to it. Oh, there's another question. So if someone shares a workflow with you, will their automatic emails also copy over? No, it won't, because those emails and questionnaire templates don't live, they're not there in your account. So you'd still have to set those up, but it will bring over the phases and tasks for you to complete, just not the emails. Check out the Q&A tab one more time, just make sure I'm not missing anything. Good. So, yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, that's. I mean, that's pretty much workflow in a nutshell. I hope that the people who haven't messed with it yet will realize it's not that complicated, or at least in my opinion, it's not that complicated. And maybe it just feels what I call big project syndrome, where something is just so unknown and so big that you just kind of shut down. Hopefully that makes it not feel so big project-y, if that's, I mean, it's clearly not a word, but I'm making it a word. Yeah, hopefully you guys will get in there and start messing around with it. So now I'm going to show some of that new stuff I just added with proposals, just so that it's here recorded in this video. I'm going to go to just sample one real quick. One thing you'll notice that I've been doing, kind of going around the interface and adding, are these nice little question help tips. So if there's something you see in the interface and you're like, I don't really know what that is, or what that's for, or why would I want to fill that out, feel free to post in the support group and just say, hey, Tim, can you add a help tip to kind of explain a little bit further about what this is, and I'll be happy to add it, just because I feel like this will really help. Now you can see this one's red, so okay, well, this is probably something I really should look at. And here it'll say like, hey, this is your payment term template. If you don't use this feature, your clients won't be prompted to make a payment online. So that's kind of necessary if you want people to be able to pay you right away from the proposal. So you'll see some of those little help tips throughout. When you go to the edit screen, so right now we're on the view screen. If we click on edit, you'll see a lot of these nice little help tips. So something new that I haven't created in one of these videos yet is the proposal expiration date. So you can send out a proposal, and you can say, hey, if you don't fill out this proposal by a certain date, it'll just expire, and the deal that you originally would have gotten is, sorry, it's expired now. And so you can totally do that. You can also disable the locations step on an event proposal. So right now, when you go to an event proposal, on that review info step, there's a way for your clients to add the different locations, like their venues, ceremony, all that kind of stuff. You can disable that and just set it to yes, it's disabled, and they won't be able to do that. Yeah. Oh, and also one thing that I just added today that you can do with these payment terms. Originally, you could only have like one payment term, and a payment term is basically just how you want to split up the payments. I'm going to go show you that real quick, just so that if someone has never used a payment term, they can see how to do it. What you do is just add a payment term template, just give it a name, and then once you give it a name, like this one's called 20% upon signing, then payment in full 2 weeks before the event date. That's the name. When I expand it, you'll see I've added two payments to it. I've added two little payment templates. So how I want to be paid with this payment term is I would like to be paid a percentage of the total. I want to be paid 20% 1 day after the invoice is sent. And I've even added a payment reminder template to it. I think I've gone over that in another video, so I won't show that today. But then I want it to split up into yet another payment, and this final one will be the remaining balance, and I want it due 2 weeks before the event date. So when I apply this payment term to my proposal or to an invoice, it will split up the entire invoice amount into these two payments. So let me just hit cancel. Like this one is a deposit or retainer, whatever you want to call it, of 20%, and then it'll split into 3 equal payments. The final one is due 2 weeks before the event, and I want it to generate payments that are equal, split into 3, 2 weeks between each other from that last date. So kind of work backward, generate the last payment that's due 2 weeks before the event, and then generate 2 more that are 2 weeks apart from each other. So you could kind of go crazy with these payment term templates and kind of, create how you want to be paid. But anyway, so what I was saying is in the proposal now, you can say, instead of just only giving them one option to pay, you can say, hey, by the way, I want to give my client the ability to choose how they want to pay. So they can choose from 1, 2, 3, 10, 15, any of my different payment terms. And so when they get to the proposal, I'm just going to real quick, already have a package chosen. Good. So I'm going to go to the review page. Once I fill out all my info, here at the bottom, now it says, how would you like to pay? And so I give them the choice. They can select any of these payment terms. So now your clients have the flexibility to choose, okay, how do I want to pay? And you could even have, one of your payment terms would be just the full amount due right now. So they could say, you know what, I just want to pay this off. I don't know of many clients who do that, but that would be incredible. You could, and then just have different payment schedules that you want. So that's some new stuff. Oh, I missed a question. How do we create a proposal? We have none. Okay, so to create a proposal, before you go and create one, I would highly suggest, number one, creating it as a proposal template. But before you even go there, I would suggest setting up your product templates and your package templates. And I'll show you why. When I go to one of my proposal templates, I'm just going to open up this one real quick. In the proposal template, I can say, what are all the different defaults that I want every time I create a proposal from this template? So I said, here's the contract that I want them to sign. I just choose from my contract templates, or type in the text. And you'll notice that this text has all the different variables or tokens or whatever you want to call it. Nothing's actually filled out because this is the template, and I don't want someone's name, in here because it's going to get replaced once they actually fill out the real proposal. I can add my payment terms here. These are all defaults because this is just a template. And then I can say, all right, well, what packages do I want them to be able to choose from? So I could go and here and create a manual package, just create a brand new one. Or if you set them up ahead of time, I can just choose right from my package templates and it fills everything in for me. So now I can hit save, and there it is. That was super fast because I already did the hard work ahead of time and created the package template and added all the different products and services to it that it comes with. So I would highly suggest setting that up first. Then down here, there's this add-on section. And down here, you can add all of your different product templates that you want them to be able to choose from. So here they could add on an engagement session or a flush mount album, a guest book, a flash drive. And you can even go a step further and say, this is the product they can choose and how much it costs. And I only want, like, this engagement session add-on will only show up for if they choose the essential package. So you can limit it to only show for specific packages that they've chosen. So that's really cool. If you want to have different add-ons be different prices, depending upon which package they choose, or not show or do show, depending upon what package they choose. So, and then you can also have coupon codes in this proposal template. So, and you basically just set all of these defaults here, and then every time you go to create a proposal, it'll make a copy of this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to create a lead. Well, I already have a lead created, so I'll just show you real quick. Here's my test. And it's just warning me, hey, by the way, you've already got an event that day. And actually, this is a lead for an existing client in the system, so I could just link it up, which I will do. And so here I could go to the proposal tab and create a new proposal. And because I created that as a template, rather than trying to now set up all these defaults and insert all this junk, I've already done that when I created my proposal template. So now I just give it a name. So this would be Test's wedding proposal or something like that. Save. Now what it did was it pulled over all of the settings that I had in my template. So it looks almost identical to that other one, except now you can see it's created for this lead. And so I'm just going to hit publish and view rather than emailing it to them because it's myself. And now here is the proposal all based off of that template. And now I've got that awesome package that I added to my template, so I could choose that. And I can go and see how the engagement session and the flush mount album don't show up for this package. It's because that's what was set in my template. So they're not even shown as options here. Awesome. Great. So definitely set up your packages, your product templates and your packages first. Then create your proposal template. And then from there, you saw how easy and quick it was on my lead. I just went to the proposal tab, clicked add proposal, and just chose the template, and it was just that easy. And then I could just hit send. So yeah, it'll save you a lot of time to put in that initial time first, and then you'll be booking super, super fast. So yeah, does anyone else have any other questions? Check the Q&A tab real quick. Okay, so James's question. I get confused when I'm trying to add due dates that workflows rely on. Do you sketch out a workflow on paper before doing it in Pixifi? Or what's the easiest way to create a workflow from scratch for something you're doing? James, I mean, that's obviously down to personal preference, but I don't see any fault in kind of planning it out on paper first. kind of do a brain dump on paper, like, all right, what do I do for each of these events? At what stage do I do this? When do I do this? And what do I do? And kind of break apart everything that you're currently doing now or that you want to be able to do. What emails am I sending to people, and when am I sending them, and when do I send a questionnaire, or am I not sending questionnaires, and really I should be because I need to gather this information. Kind of brain dump everything on paper, plan it all out, and then go and create those email templates and questionnaire templates, and then build your workflow. And as you're building it, you'll be able to, like, okay, so 1 week after I've booked their event, this is what I do, and 2 months later, this is what I do, and 2 weeks before it, this is what I do. And you'll find it'll go so much faster because you took that time to plan and kind of map out exactly how you want it to work for you. It'll be so dang easy. So yeah, that's I would definitely highly suggest that. Can you create a proposal with no options, the equivalent of an estimate they can accept and then be sent a contract and invoice? What you could do, I guess, instead of sending a proposal, is maybe use a pricing page. The difference between a proposal and a pricing page, I'll show you real quick. So when you go to settings and pricing pages, I'm just going to open up this one real quick. It looks similar to a proposal, so you still have the packages and add-ons they can choose from. Let me just hit view. But in the proposal you saw, there was a contract signing step and a payment step. Here, you can show them what packages they could choose from and what items they could choose from. But when they get to the last step, it will display your inquiry form in Pixifi and basically create a lead and a proposal from this. So that way it's not automatically booking, and they can choose what they want, but they're not being forced to sign a contract and make a payment yet from your pricing page. Also, if you already have a lead or a client in the system already and you don't want to just send them to your pricing page and have it create a duplicate, go to your lead or your client. I'll just show you this real quick. Go to Actions and then Share Pricing. And in here's all my pricing pages. Let me just click a real quick email template. I would just insert this URL right here. And this little extra ID on the end is the ID of this specific lead. So if I copy this real quick instead of emailing it to myself and paste it in a tab, there you go. I've already selected a package. Now when I get to the submit info page, it's not going to ask me to create a new lead. Now if I just hit request proposal, it will create the actual proposal for this lead that's already in the system. So that little share pricing is very important if you don't want to end up creating duplicates. But that's at least what I think you could use for sending your stuff to potential people, but without having them sign a contract like right there. Cool. Let me check the other tab just in case. Cool. Oh, so Julie's question was, which should I set up first? A package template and then a product template? I would say no. I would say set up your product template first. So I might as well just go to this real quick just to show you. Make sure you have your product types set up, and you'll see all of my types are generic. DVD. I don't even do DVDs anymore. This is old, but it doesn't matter. Flush mount albums, photography as like a service, guest books, framed pictures, galleries, prints. Like these are all just generic types. Then you'll see I have option types. You don't have to go this complex, but you could. within option types of prints, I have a print size and a print finish style. Those are just my product type option types. And then when I actually go and create my product templates, let me just go to like prints here. You'll see in my various prints template that I created, I went and clicked add template and selected the type of prints and gave it a name and a price and all that stuff. Then I was able to add these options. So from those option types of print size and print finish style, I created a 4x6, a 5x7, an 8x10, an 8x12 size, and then metallic, glossy, and matte. I'm just going to reorder this real quick. And those are the print finish styles. So when I then go and build a package or the add-on section of a proposal or pricing page, I can just click add this various prints product template, and it's automatically added to my package or proposal page or pricing page or whatever. So definitely set up your product templates first. I'm not sure why that kicked off. Okay. Does anybody else have any other questions?
Yeah, real quick, Tim, it's Julie. So, okay, we got the product template, and then next you would do the package template. Is that the next step you would do?
Yeah, so then here I'll show you that real quick. Now that I've set up all my products, I'm going to go and create a brand new package template, and we'll call this the Julie Special. And so here in this column over here are all the different product templates I've already set up. So I can say, oh great, look, here's that flush mount album I added, and just select it right over there. And I can say this package will actually come with 3 of them, and they're each $15.50 a piece. Doesn't matter. Here is the actual package price that I want to charge. Okay. So I'll just say this is, well, if it's going to include 3 albums, this one's like. And it also comes with an online gallery, and it comes with a guest book, and it comes with 6 hours of wedding coverage, and it comes with all this stuff. Doesn't matter. And so now, when I hit save, let's just go to the Julie Special. These are all the things that come with this package, and now I can see, all right, based on the price and cost that I've already added to my product templates, I'm making about 72% profit margin. So I'm doing pretty good for this $5,500 price that I've set.
Okay.
And then you can add an image for the header image, and this package month, some people are kind of confused by that, and maybe I should add a little help tip. Basically, that's if you change your pricing all the time, and some people even change it by month. So what I mean, I guess I'll just show you real quick. Here you can kind of, because I have these organized by year, I can see, oh, what did I actually charge for my elegant package back in 2012? Or, oh, what was it in 2009? Okay, now I remember that price. And, what did I originally have in it? Oh, wow, I actually, I used to have even more things. It's kind of like a history kind of tool. And what you can do is, say you go and change this Julie Special a month later, within the same year, you can say, all right, I just hit the duplicate button. This one I actually changed in July, and I made it $6,500. I wanted to increase the price. And so I'd still have like sort of a history to go back, and so look, there's the Julie Special, and then here it is in July. So. But yeah, to answer your original question, first create your products, then create your package.
Okay, and then the proposal.
Yeah, I mean, if you create a proposal and you haven't created these packages, just go back to the proposal, edit it, and then you'll see all these new templates that you can just instantly add to it.
Okay. Thanks.
Yep. We got about 10 minutes left. unless there's no other questions. And yeah, if there's no other questions, then just send everybody on their way. And I hope that this has been helpful for everybody who's been watching and who will watch later the recording. I hope that all the workflow stuff that I went over makes it feel a little less big project syndrome-y. That you can just take it one piece at a time and do exactly what James asks about. Take what you do now, draft it all out on paper or on your iPad or whatever you want to do. Brain dump everything you do, and then just from there, once you've created your framework, then create it digitally in Pixifi through the the workflow section. And for those of you who already have the whiteboards set up, you guys already know what your workflow is. So all you have to do is take that whiteboard and all the phases and tasks that you already do and just create it digitally. So you'll probably have a much easier time. So.
Tim, where would I find all the past videos of these coffee?
Oh, cool. So at pixfi.com/coffeewithtim,
Okay.
when you scroll down under that video, then I have this whole archives section under there, and I go over all different kinds of topics and stuff. So.
Beautiful. Got it.
Yeah. Yep.
I see it. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome. Awesome. Well, I guess there are no other questions, so I hope you guys all have a great rest of your Tuesday and an amazing week. And if you have any questions, like normal, just feel free to ask in the Facebook support group. And yeah, have a great day. Talk to you guys later. Peace.